good, y'all, man? We back with another video. I'm just playing. Today we got terrifying things called at Starbucks. Terrifying things at Starbucks. Usually when you think of Starbucks, you think of good vibes and chill, nice people drinking their coffee on the way heading to work. But hey, man, they said terrifying things at Starbucks. We can get into it. Get into the video, man. Bro.
Just the name of this popular coffee house chain rustles up pleasant visions of warm, delicious coffee.
Ugh.
Almost everyone starts their workday off with a cup of coffee from Starbucks. However, not everything is as charming as it appears. Here are some videos that will show you the darker side of one of America's most popular coffee house chains.
Starbucks
Customer
worldwide.
chased at Starbucks. In this video, a man leaves a Starbucks, but as he's walking back to his car in the parking lot, he's chased by two other men back into the store. It's unclear why the other two men have decided to chase this customer, but it definitely feels personal. The customer runs back inside, trying to evade the two others.
Ran that so fast, boy.
Hops over it, heading to the back where all the baristas are working. The two men follow him to the back
in the
of the store.
world, bro?
The commotion frightens all the other customers.
It must be something crazy going on with them, man, bro.
Starbucks is robbed.
That's crazy, bro.
In this video, a man came into a Starbucks with a weapon and ordered the baristas to give him all the cash they had. As soon as he enters the shop, he waves his weapon around and orders all the customers to get on the ground. He then points it at the baristas and orders them to empty their till, put the money into bags, and give him
the money in the Starbucks
The robber
bags?
is wearing all black with a hood and a mask over his face, hiding his identity. Someone outside the Starbucks has seen the robber go into the store with the weapon and called the police. The baristas fill up a few bags with the money from their tills and hand it to the robber. The bags aren't sturdy enough to carry the heavy tills, and they break open, causing the money to fall to the floor. The robber frantically picks up the money and puts it into a stronger garbage bag and then leaves the store. By the time he leaves, however, police are well on their way. The police see the robber fleeing the scenes, running down the sidewalk. They chase him down, capture him, and arrest him. Thankfully, no one was injured during the robbery, and police say it was a really good thing that all the customers and baristas
there's no way
listened to
that's a
the robber's
real
orders,
person,
because
bro.
if they hadn't, it could have cost them their lives. Arson at Starbucks. In this video, police and firefighters have blocked off a city street because a Starbucks has caught on fire. The fire is big enough to have the police block off the entire street and not allow any traffic through. The fire was allegedly started by a homeless man who broke into the store, poured gasoline all over the shop, and lit it on fire while he was still inside. Firefighters were able to get the man out of the shop before he was killed. However, he was rushed to the hospital after suffering severe burns. Fortunately, no one else was in or near the Starbucks. Upset customer throws food at Starbucks.
Upset customer.
Most people file a complaint with the corporation when they're unhappy with their customer service experience at a store or restaurant. However, this lady in this video took a different route. After getting upset with the workers at Starbucks, this woman started to take the grab-and-go food items off the shelves of the counter and throw them on the ground. She chooses to do this instead of using her words, and once all the food is scattered across the floor, she storms out of the Starbucks, leaving a large mess for the employees to clean up themselves.
Bro, what? Like,
man sets Starbucks on fire.
What's up people saying these Starbucks
taken
on
by
fire,
security
bro?
cameras inside a Starbucks. In the video, a man wearing a ski mask and all black clothing to hide his identity breaks into the store in the middle of the night. He takes a carton of gasoline and pours it all over the place. Then he lights it on fire and leaves. The man was later captured by police and admitted to having been the perpetrator of 5 other counts of arson at other stores such as Old Navy. During his plea agreement, the man ended up admitting to having been involved with 9 other counts of arson as well, over the course of 10 nights. There's no clear reason as to why the man was doing this, but it's a good thing the police got him. He was able to do so much damage in such a short amount of time. If he hadn't been caught, there could have been so much more damage and potential injuries. He truly was a threat to society. Starbucks worker struck by lightning. In this video, a Starbucks worker appears to be making a silly video with her friend.
Order. Can I get an iced caramel?
They're standing outside in a store and pretending to take the person who's filming's orders. The girls are laughing and joking around, but suddenly a flash of lightning hits super close to the worker.
An ice.
Both girls scream, and the video cuts. Starbucks closes over a dozen stores due to crime. You may start to notice more Starbucks shops closing their doors across the US. However, it's not because business is bad. The reason that Starbucks has started to close more than a dozen of its locations across the country is because of the rising crime. Starbucks released a statement saying that they're closing some of their stores that are located in higher crime areas because they feel like it's not safe for their employees to have to work in such dangerous conditions. Starbucks decided to close down some franchises in Seattle, Portland,
6.
Los Angeles, New Orleans,
6 in
Washington,
Seattle,
D.C., and Philadelphia.
Ain't none in
They chose to
Georgia.
close their most popular location in New Orleans after the city was named the homicide capital of the United States, passing St. Louis in homicides per capita. The rise in crime is unfortunate, as many baristas will lose their jobs, but Starbucks claims that they'll be opening up more stores just in safer locations. Woman finds lizard in her Starbucks coffee. When one woman went to get her usual coffee order from Starbucks, she was surprised to find an extra
lizard.
ingredient. As she took the first sip of
Lizard
the coffee, the woman felt
nasty.
something hovering on the drink
Ugh.
enter her mouth.
It was
Is it Starbucks?
so gross knowing that it was in my mouth.
She spit out the drink only to
It was
find
in
that
her
she'd almost
mouth?
drunk a lizard. The woman was so disgusted that she
Oh
took
my-
a
oh,
picture
no, they
and
getting
then took her
sued,
drink
bro.
and the
They
lizard
getting
back into
sued, bro.
Starbucks to show the workers.
Where's the legs?
They getting
Where's the
sued,
skin?
bro.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it just makes me sick.
The workers said that
bro.
they'd never seen anything like it before and promised that they'd been diligent about cleaning the shop. Starbucks made a statement as well, saying that they'd be looking into the incident and make sure the store was up to code. It's safe to say that the woman who almost drank the lizard will be finding a new place to get her morning coffee.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm
And
suing.
arrested at Starbucks. In this video, 2 men are handcuffed,
What the world?
arrested, and escorted out of a Starbucks.
The
The video is disturbing because the men who were interviewed after the incident had met at the Starbucks to have a business meeting over coffee. When police arrived, the 2 men were shocked to find that the police were there to arrest them. The men had done nothing but order coffee and sit down at the shop. One of the customers had been uncomfortable with the black men sitting in the Starbucks and called the police in on them. It's just sad that the men were still arrested, even though it was obvious to anyone else that they hadn't done anything
I ain't gonna even
to
talk about
warrant
that
an
topic,
arrest.
bro. Y'all know how this gonna go, bro.
Starbucks vandalized.
I ain't even finished.
This video shows the aftermath of a Starbucks in Seattle that had been looted during a riot. The windows and glass doors of the shop had all been completely smashed in. The neon Starbucks sign was completely broken and the store had been cleaned out. After this event, many Starbucks closed their doors, not because they had slow business, but because looting, rioting, and crime in general had gotten so bad that Starbucks corporate had deemed the locations too unsafe to have employees working in. Man witnesses explosion in Starbucks
People do
drive-thru.
anything to Starbucks, but I ain't no Starbucks get down like
While
this. But I
waiting in
ain't
the
not,
Starbucks
not
drive-thru to
no
pick up
this,
his morning
bro.
coffee, one man witnessed a large explosion. His dashcam caught it all on camera.
What the
In the video,
world?
a roof can be seen completely blowing off of a building across the
Ain't no
street
way,
from
man.
Starbucks. Debris flies up into the air and out into the street.
Like somebody set a
Police
C4
later
off
find
in that
debris more
zone,
than
boy.
100 yards away from the explosion site.
The first thing I thought was, wow, it's a crazy explosion, but then also how many people are in there, because that is a life-ending explosion.
4 men were inside the building at the time of the explosion, and luckily they all survived, despite being severely injured. It's unclear what the cause of the explosion was. Starbucks employee finds hidden camera in the bathroom.
Hidden camera in the bathroom.
When a Starbucks employee was using the bathroom, she noticed a phone charger plugged into the wall. She grabbed it and realized that it was actually a pinhole camera disguised as a charger. She showed it to her coworkers, and the baristas decided to call the cops.
Hi, I'm calling from Starbucks. I work here and I was recently in the bathroom and I noticed a recording device plugged into the wall.
The police reviewed Starbucks security footage and determined that the owner of
They
the
trying
camera
to
may have
record
been a
that
man who was
thing.
lurking around the bathroom suspiciously before he ordered a drink and left. The police put his pictures out into the media, and the man brought himself in, saying he was innocent.
I mean, I can't admit that I did that.
While police were interrogating him, they'd been able to obtain a search warrant, and a few went to his house to see if they could find any other recording devices. When they went through the man's garbage, they found tons of other secret recording devices. The man was arrested for his
He
crimes.
weird.
Next time you're in a Starbucks bathroom, make sure to check and see if you're being watched. Customer
weird,
literally
yeah.
drives through Starbucks.
Customer drive.
In this
through
video, 2
Starbucks.
Starbucks baristas stand behind the counter. There's no customers in the store, and business appears to be slow.
2009.
But not for long. As the baristas walk to the back kitchen area of the Starbucks, an SUV suddenly drives straight through the glass front doors of the store.
What in the
It hits the
world,
counter
bro?
before turning and crashing into the sidewall of the building. Fortunately, the
Bro, they tell me
baristas had
some
walked to the
weird
back at the
junk, bro.
perfect time and were out of the way when the car busted in. The driver of the
be
car was a
weird, bro.
37-year-old woman and also a sheriff's deputy. She was allegedly driving under the influence of prescription drugs when she crashed into the store.
Oh, so she
From the
would throw it
video, it
off.
appears that no one was injured. However, the store was totally wrecked. The entire front counter was crushed, as well as the front and side
She
of the
know-
store
she
where the
know
car
what's going
crashed
on.
through. The driver was arrested and charged with a DUI. Off camera, outside the Starbucks, the woman's erratic driving had caused her to hit 3 other people, one of them an elderly woman. Luckily, none of them were killed. However, they did sustain significant injuries. Before we play the last clip you've watched this far, why not consider
That
subscribing
girl
to
right
the
here,
channel?
she like Karen, bro. I ain't got time.
I post 2 new scary videos every week, so subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the new releases. Starbucks customer confronts employee for stealing credit card information. When you go to Starbucks, you usually expect to just get a coffee, not get your credit card information stolen. This Starbucks customer noticed some charges on her credit card that she didn't make, and was able to track down who was using her card information.
People do
To her
be doing
surprise,
that.
she found out that it was the Starbucks employee who'd served her the drink the day before that had stolen that info. The customer decided to go back to Starbucks and confront the worker. In the video, after the employee hands her drink order, the woman tells the employee that she has her on video using her credit card to make a $212 purchase at Ralph's.
So we got you on camera yesterday at Ralph's for $212. So just know that the cops are coming up here. They recorded your everything. You took a copy of my card the other day on New Year's Day. You know what you did.
The employee, a young girl, looks shocked at what the woman has said. The employee apologizes, and the lady asks how she was able to make a copy of her card. The lady also asks her if she's sorry for doing it and sorry for taking the money from her children.
Kids? What are you sorry about?
I'm sorry that I took money from you and your kids. I'm sorry that you had to come up here. I'm sorry that this is inconvenient for you.
The employee starts to apologize profusely while the lady tells her that she's going to press charges. The employee says that she's a good person who's just trying to go to school.
So I'm sorry. I am a good child. I swear I'm really
You're a
good.
good child.
I really do go to school. I'm 19. I play soccer.
She also says that she's only 19. She then pleads with the lady to not press charges against her, but despite the girl's plea, the lady says she's seriously going to file them.
It's over with for but chain gang. It's over with. Hopefully y'all like the video, man. Ain't no Starbucks get down like that, boy. Y'all ain't tell me that. Why y'all ain't tell me that though? It's all crazy. Starbucks get down. I ain't know all that stuff be happening over there. But if you got like the video, man, see y'all tomorrow, man. Junk crazy.